But I'm so thankful that I made the sacrifice and laid down my company, because now I'm doing things that I care infinitely more about. Also, you can't tell what the future is going to hold. My father passed away in 2023. He was the founder of Skywatch TV, the co-founder of Whispering Ponies Ranch, where all of this work happens now for these children. And if I had been, let's say, out dog training, I sincerely don't know now who is here to have stepped into a lot of that. And it has been the hardest thing that I have ever had to do. Kyle, you've been my friend now for about a year. We've talked like old friends. I've told you things that only my mother knows, only my wife knows, about how difficult this current season is, in having stepped in for my father on lots of fronts, from spiritual to financial to just the pressures of being responsible for all the moving parts. I would say it has been a brutal season for the last couple of years. I would also say that every time I think we're about to get counted out as a ministry or something's about to implode, God shows up and rescues it in ways that I can't. This is not my business acumen. This is not Joe Horn learned a ton under his father and somehow salvaged the model because he knows a bunch of stuff. My dad, when he was in the ICU during the last 11 days of his life, was saying things like, now I always disputed this, but he would say, Joe, I think the world has changed. I don't have the answers. It's going to be you. I think he knew that he may not go home. And I just kept saying, Dad, don't worry about business right now. Don't worry about ministry. Let's get you home. We'll get you straightened up. We'll get you supplements. We'll take care of you. And he never came home. But he was saying, even in the ICU, the world has changed. I don't know if the old model works anymore. The old model being a dynastic TV program where you offer a book for a donation. Much of that doesn't work the way that it worked at all, even just 3 years ago. And so, people want content. And if you provide for them what they can tangibly sink their teeth into is ministerial work, and they believe that you are an extension of what they care about. So taking the gospel to the four corners of the world is a huge priority for Skywatch TV. If people align with that vision, they're praying for you. They're supporting you financially. They are buying into your ministry. And so, we have moved a lot away from, and again, I've not talked about this publicly at all. Somebody from Skywatch would have to hear me talk to you, Kyle, to even know that this has guided a lot of our thinking over the last year. We've moved a lot away from, if you make a donation, you get this 3-book package, and it is becoming more, if you want to support the ministry, you know how to do that. Here's a website, but let's just focus on the interview. Let's get the content to edify Christ. Let's get lives converted. We're living in the last days. The enemy knows that his time is short. Let's go on the offense and preach, and not be so focused on the offer. And if people are watching Skywatch, they're seeing that, whether they're taking a cognitive mental note of it or not. A totally different focus. And none of that is designed to disparage the way that our previous generations did ministry. It used to be that people really wanted your book package, and so they would support your ministry that way. And then because you're getting support, you're able to then turn. My father gave away so much resource to the children. And I am not going to be specific about that because it was his personal business. But I watched my father many, many times take what would be blessings from above in the form of one of his books performing really well, and he would turn around and just underwrite ministry with it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I know this isn't Joe Horn's stream of consciousness, like oral history of the family construct for the last decade. It's kind of become that. But you asked what made me a child advocate, and it wasn't a simple question to answer.
No,
it was a
definitely
process
not.
over time. When I started saying yes to God, and now I'm the CEO of Skywatch TV, even prior to my father's passing, I got super interested, super engaged, and it started to make a lot more sense why I had stuck around and went all in, shoulder to the plow.